little bit of hate for one of the back issues that I found in my room today.
On that note, everybody hate him. Hello, how's it going?
Wait. So let's. I'm going to do a theme.
Maybe not.
All right, now we can go.
What's going on, everybody? I'm RDV. I'm back here with Geekeasy, Valiant J, and Easy Eric Breen.
Easy.
Right?
I have been called that before.
Yes.
You have now.
I have. I know. I said I had a buddy of mine at work at the record store used to call me that, and I couldn't name. At the time, I couldn't have named a Public Enemy song to save my life.
You probably couldn't. You probably didn't know it was a Public
That
Enemy.
wasn't Eazy-E's not Public Enemy. Eazy-E was in that.
I'm sorry, NWA. See, that's how.
See, that's what I mean.
What made it even worse is he couldn't name a song from either band.
I couldn't. I was already old.
Right?
I missed that by about 5 to 8 years.
Eazy-E, isn't that Jay-Z's father?
Not anymore.
All right. Got quite a few books come out this week. Obviously, these are not the books that we like that we got. Obviously, there might be other books that may not show up on the stream here tonight that maybe you guys do like. Let us know what your top 10 would be if you have that many books this week.
I gotta tell you real quick, Geeky. One night, I think it was 92 or 3, I think. NWA and Public Enemy were playing at the Coliseum in Cincinnati the same night that Pearl Jam, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Smashing Pumpkins were at the Cincinnati Gardens. It's probably the most talent that's ever been assembled in Cincinnati in one night.
All right. I do not have.
That's because I've never been there.
I do have no back issues I can show you, but I do have back issues that are constant. But Walking Dead latest issue came out. This is issue number 81. So it's original cover. Like I said, I don't put these in my top books, so because the fact that they're old, they're just colored versions, but really cool stuff.
Issues of color.
Where brothers of color do die in this book, though. Ironically. But yeah, like I said, this is already Alexandria, so right where the walkers are about to come in, and you know what happens, mommy, in the show. Yeah, that happens in this book too.
Little shit.
Yeah, I know the little. You know what I'm talking about. Yes. Where they're gonna cover themselves. Alexandria's overrun with walkers. They're gonna sneak out. And the little kid says, it gets separated from his mom on the line and from the walkers. And he says, "Mommy!" And then they all swarm him, eat him. And then the mother goes, and then she dies too. It's like, what a waste. But it sets up for Rick to get with Andrea because she's hot in this book. From like the show. Anyway, right. So my next show, number 10 for this week, is a book that has fantastic art. Just really have no idea what's going on, and it should be it looks like they're trying to be an anime, but it's Prism number 4. So all I really know so far, when I've gathered reading through the first 4 issues, is that they assemble a band. They're going to go into space, and apparently their acoustics are going to stop the symbiotes from taking over the planet. And they're not normal symbiotes that attack people. These are symbiotes that are just living in the oceans. So they're like just devouring anything. Kind of like a plague. But like I said, I do like the art here. And of course, one of the girls in here brings her cat to space, which was so cute. I was like, oh, look, it's a little kitty in space in a helmet. Stupid.
Gee, I've never heard that before. Ripley.
But like I said, this is the ship they're in that they built. This really looks like an 80s sci-fi. Or not sci-fi, but 80s animated cartoon. Kind of like Voltron mix. I'm trying to think of Galaxy Range. Was it Galaxy? What was it called? Galaxy Galaxy Ranger of the Galaxy or something like that?
Is that the one with the big battleship? Is that what you're trying to get at?
Galaxy Rangers, and they all had like they did the little pentagram thing, and they played music. forgot what it was, but
No.
like I said, they're going for like an 80s feel type of this. The writer is the artist on this, so I just wish that the writer would explain more what's going on. Mateo de Longus is the artist. So and it's actually from a Blaze. So the funny part is this: I went on review on like Comic Geeks, and like some guy says like, "Oh, it's great. I just wish I knew what's going on." We both agreed. The art is fantastic for this, but I mean, it's just very vague. Like the storytelling, obviously, this person is supposed to be this first time writing, and I just wish they had somebody there to edit there and structure it more, because this really could be a good book. But unfortunately, I think I'm 4 out of 4 people who are rating it.
Well, if you don't know what's going on, how can it be great?
As far as the art storytelling not so much. It's that storytelling is what really takes it down to about a 3.5 star for me out of 5. But the art is what I'm giving the extra half from, because normally it should be a mid book. But definitely it should be an anime, and they could be a lot better if it was written by somebody else. But the way to like I said, and then we get what's going on. There's this other thing called Armored Corps, or I guess I'm not sure what is going on with this, but these people go back to their planet or the continent in Africa and the city, and they're looking for the people, and they're all slaughtered at the end.
Oh,
Yeah, they find where the missing people are. They're from their village. They're all dead inside. Yeah. So, like I said, it just needs a better writer who can explain what's going on, or at least a summary version in the very beginning of the book. Tell me previous, on the Prism, because right now it's just basically like you're giving me like Mobile Suit Gundam without a story, and you just give me the art.
that's an interesting way to do it, I guess. Huh.
All right. Like I said, I wish my friend Skip was still here. He'd probably explain it better. Yeah, he was smarter when it came to some of these books, And this is kind of books he'd go for, the music books. That's why I picked it up. I'm still going with it. All right, my number 9 for this week is a book that's been getting better. It's a little better than the last issue, and but it's still not that high on my list because it could be way better. And it is Army of Darkness Forever. And this is the Nick Dragota cover, because I could have got the other covers, but I like Nick Dragota's art. So basically, this is continuing from the Army of Darkness story movie, where Ash is now stuck in the future, and then in the 1993, they sent the evil Ash to that timeline. So, and now he's taken over, and his whole plot is basically with the internet coming online, he wants to spread the Necronomicon digital throughout the internet, so everybody gets in the world, so they can take over the world. Where Ash is in the future, and he's basically has to retrieve all the pages. He's in a cybernetic future. So,
does he have a channel in the future?
he's the only living being as far as a normal human. But there is a babe that wants to get lucky with him, though. He's like, and the guy he's like, what he says, he's like, whoa, a lady. Wait, I don't think she's trying to kill me. I think she's. I told you, this haircut made me look sexy. Of course, yeah. This is Tony Fleeks is doing. Actually, no. Tony Fleeks is the writing. This is Justin Greenwood from Torrent doing the art on this. Like I said, it could be a lot better, but we got the problem where we're doing 3 different parts in history where the story's going on. You got the old wizard and the lady who he had pillow talk with in Army of Darkness. She's trying to stop the villains from going in the future. Yeah, so honestly, I guess I don't know how many issues is going to be. I'm guessing 6. It's usually is a series or mini-series. Maybe we get 12. It doesn't say if it's one of 5 or I mean, This is actually issue 4, but let's say 4 of 6. But I don't know. It could be a lot better. But the Army of Darkness books have really never been that great. They're kind of hit or misses. So, but if you were a fan of the Army of Darkness movie, this is a must pick up for you because it adds onto the story and it gives you a decent enough story. I just wish the art would. I love Justin Smallwood or Greenwood, but I would rather have someone who doesn't draw as cartoony for Ash. You know. All right. My number 8. Scorch. All right. This is issue number 25. We found out in the last issue that Violator, for those who are Spawn fans, and I'm not sure if on the panel here read Spawn, but I know who Violator is, what's a fat guy, clown-looking guy, demon. Turns out he has a sister.
Of course he does.
And she's had this vendetta with Night Spawn for all these years. And because it was back in the day, Violator's failure, he was turned to looking in the clown. Explains why he was like that. He's stuck in that form. So now she's basically woken up after all these years trapped in there because she took a spot, and she's forced to take on She-Spawn, the Night Spawn, and then Angel. I think his name's Reaver. He's an angel. He's like basically an angel. And so now she basically wants to take over the world now, get revenge because she didn't know her apparently that Spawn back in I think it was issue 200 killed her lord, her boss, the head demon, because she's been trapped that long in like a spell or something like that. Like I said, these are getting better, but I would really recommend these are for more people who are really diehard Spawn fans. So I mean, it's enough where I can understand what's going on. This is Sean Lewis writing this, and it's not Sean Lewis anymore. It's John Layman, and Todd McFarlane's giving the additional script, and then Steven Segoya is just still doing the art on this. So, and then this is the preview for the next issue, because now she wants to kill She-Spawn.
I wonder if John Layman's still an asshole.
I don't know. But like I said, he took over that Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot that was over at Boom Studios from the other chick, and it instantly got better. So I don't know what's going to go with this. I mean, I still like the Sean Lewis story in as far as parts, but John Layman took over now. So it's not really much of a difference, which is nice. I know. When's the last time somebody's took over a book midway through and kept the same, story going instead of starts,
It only happens in the Spawn universe, seems like.
Yeah, because it used to. Gail Small taking over from Chuck Dixon, Birds of Prey.
Well, no, but that was 20-something years ago.
I know. As I said it used to be that way, though. Yeah. All right. My number 7. It's not 007. It is Justice League versus King Kong.
This is one time where I will allow that.
It's going to be like that every week. It's not going to be my number 7. It's going to be higher on the list.
Yeah, that's no doubt.
So Atom Smasher is presumed to be dead, or at least close to dead.
Superman too.
Superman is close to death too. They can even find a pulse, but Batman's like, "Bitch, he's Superman. He ain't gonna die." And they're like, "Oh, and after Batman leaves, they're like, "Yeah, he's in denial." Of course, we stare down between Supergirl and Kong. And then basically it's just like Oliver's just like, "Are you really gonna do this? To having stare contests?" But she ends up leaving. League of Shadows ends up basically sorry, not League of Shadows, League of Assassins pops up. Kong basically says he's had enough of them and little ninjas and stomps them out.
Well, Kong does have a history with blondes. I mean, look at Fay Ray back in the day.
Yeah,
and
I wonder if that.
These guys are just getting in his way of hanging out with the blonde. So,
and Lois is brought to basically this issue. Lois is brought to the Watchtower, and she basically wants to stay by his side, even though they have to leave. And then she says, because he basically was going to propose to her. She found the ring in Clark's thing, and then she says like, yes, I'm, but he said, I'll marry you, but I'm only putting this ring on unless you wake up. So, and that's, not really much else happens.
Oh, that's not true.
I mean,
Had
we
the
get more-
best line maybe ever.
what line is that, sir?
The last page or second to last page. Did you really?
Oh yeah, because I forgot about that. They released the monsters here.
They released the Kraken.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I forgot who it was. We said, "Did you really
Green
just
Lantern.
release the Kraken?"
Yeah.
And that's what. All I want out of this book is for it to be fun, and it is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been that. Yeah.
Here you go. And that was Hal Jordan actually says.
That art is amazing.
Yeah.
I will give it that.
And of course, at the end on the boat where the League of Assassins sat, there's a kind of dinosaur bone or Godzilla bone skull.
I'd probably say that's a Godzilla bone. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know, man. But you can heat things up this winter with these awesome covers from DC.
Yeah, I saw that in my other book.
Everybody wants that Nightwing with the crotch shot in the snow.
I thought sexualizing comics was a big no-no for them.
Look at Power Girl and her skivvies
Oh, yeah.
and Batman. And wait, is that what the hell? He's with Selena Kyle again? I thought they hated each other. So stupid.
Well, you notice that she's covered up, but he's not.
And he's got the bitch boy.
Remember,
stance,
this it's not for the male gaze; it's for the gay male.
too. It is for the. I was gonna say, what's the difference at this point? All right, my number 6 this week. It's Jeremy Adams' Flash. A lot of cool stuff happens in this. So there is some dispute about this as far as the origins being retconned a little bit. But in my defense for this, it was still a good book. As far as the retcon goes, I example A, Superman. He's been needlessly retconned several times. So there's nothing new that DC's done. Now, I don't think it was done in a spiteful way though. Like it could have been with Tim Sheridan did. But still, I guess you could say it is a little bit annoying.
I'll make my counter argument when it gets to me.
Well, I'm sure you will. But like I said, the decent art here. We get to learn more about Dr. Elemental or Dr. Element, I forget what his name is. But basically, he's the reason why Jay Garrick has powers because he and caused the accident to happen, and then he recreates it in Judy, and figuring out that what the reason these people got power because of a metagene possibly, and he's just trying to repeat the process so he can create his own army. Like I said, art is pretty decent, a little cartoony, but it's okay.
I don't mind that in a Flash book.
And like I said, I do love that when it comes to these kind of pages like that.
Yeah.
Looks like he's wearing some old-fashioned 3D glasses.
He might be.
Red on one side, blue on the other.
Yeah. But like I said, the whole there's some really cool art scenes in here. You can shoot that stuff. But like I said, the biggest thing I think the most thing people are gonna have a problem is the retcon. But at the end, we get another.
So what did they replace the hard water with? I'm sorry if you already.
No, the hard water is still there. It's just that, the guy figured out he can, he was gonna experiment. He's looking for the best candidates, and of course, Jay being the best athlete at the school, He basically brings him in. Jay brought in the whole the gases and all that stuff. So and so basically, the guy didn't want to test on an animal. He started testing because animals always die. So he wanted to test on a human. So instead, he entraps Jay in this room. Makes it look like Jay's gonna lean on the counter like this, but when he does, it tips over and all the gases chemicals fall into him. But in reality, the desk was lifted up by a mechanical leg, lift up by a guy that pushing a button.
Yeah, Breen, I think you might have overreacted just a tad on this. Just a tad.
I don't.
No. Well, like I said, you can see right here, yeah, the page right here. So, but I don't know. Like I said, it's Jeremy Adams, and I give him a pass because he actually didn't really offensive. But
If you're cool with mass murder, that's yeah.
I love mass murder, bro. If you're not down with mass murder, I got 2 words for you. You're next. All right, my top 5.
Mass Murder was good. The first 3 albums were good, but then the last 2 Mass Murder kind of sucked.
Well, yeah, when they signed to a major, I mean, and then when Cliff Burton died.
Yes.
Yeah.
My number 5 is Superman.
Hey, I'm sorry, that cover is rawhide.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I got cover B.
Are the ones in the back? Are those assless? I mean, those chaps.
No, the ones in the back are the Suicide Squad. Available game, but no, honestly, this was cool having a little thing where he gets thrown back in time, along with that Moonlight girl. I forget her name is Midnight Moonlight, or I don't know.
Marilyn Moonlight.
Marilyn.
Yeah,
but
I actually liked her.
We learn her origin story though.
Yeah,
through this was really kind of cool. Because
I have to just say, I really thought they were going to go down the lesbian route. I thought that I did not know that was her. I thought that she's going to hook up with that girl.
Yeah. So one thing I really was really cool about this, they come across a family that's been destroyed. 2 small children, a wife, and guys. And Superman says, well, we're going to do right by them. But first, we're going to bury them. Basically pay the respects, which I thought was really cool for Superman, basically saying, so Josh Williamson actually pulled back an original character in here. And I forgot what his name was. Do you remember offhand? Was it? Let me see here. Terra Man, that's who it is.
Yeah, Terra Man, yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Terra Man's first appearance, I think, was Superman 249 or 252, somewhere in the, like 50-something years ago.
So
it was in the double issue.
Yeah, they actually show here. They show a flashback of them fighting.
Yeah, I used to have that issue.
You said Terra Man? Terra,
like Earth Man.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like the cards.
No.
I was like, no. Okay, I'm wrong.
Tarot. Isn't that Tarot? Yeah, Tarot.
He predicts the zone.
This isn't a Jim Gallant comic.
He gives Superman his horoscope.
So you get the little draw here, and of course, I love how Superman just kind of bluffs him. Like he's like, "You don't have your powers, you're and he basically just takes the bullets, and just gets shot with the laser guns, and this basically just kicks his ass.
He takes the bullets.
Well, he takes the bullets. As far as that, the bullets are actually they're heat-seeking bullets, I guess. But they have a specific trick. They're going to go for everybody in the town. So Superman has to get them. And just when he's about to leave on his time travel device, that's when they actually bring her in more. She grabs and holds him onto that, and you see that's supposed to be her with the Gil Kane no shot before she got her powers. Because apparently you find out that, and this is a spoiler for anybody who really cares about this character, but I don't think anybody really here does. If you do, please say so.
I kind of do, actually. I thought she was kind of interesting, believe it or not.
But I mean, as far as So we kind of learned that basically this is from her timeline. This is her original timeline. She was one of the first heroes, and then she died, and then these people resurrected her in the present day. They don't know why, and she's cursed to basically walk only at night, and she can't be. And I don't know where she must disappears during the day. She literally fades out.
Goes to the ether or something.
Yeah, something like that. And basically, Superman says, "I will find out a way to put you to rest." And Superman goes around when he first comes back, puts his own costume back on, and this basically does everything. Saves the cat, puts on fires, and then
I love Lois. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Until he gets hit in the head. Kryptonite. Yeah. So, like I said,
are you going to show us? Do we know these characters in the back? They're all like different alternate universes versions of Lex, right?
No, these are actually the two kids. You see, this is the here where my hand is. Right here, the Nicolas Cage Superman. We saw him earlier. Yeah. He's actually some guy named Stryker's son, who's the first metagene that Lex experimented on, but he couldn't control him. That's where they get that, and apparently that's where Superboy gets his powers from.
Ah, okay.
Connor does. Then the two guys there, the Howard Stern and the other guy who looks like he's from Space Cowboy. Was it Cowboy? Cowboy Bebop. Those two guys are brothers. They are the ones that are with the old lady in the past on the train.
Oh, okay.
They all branch. But then you see a Lex Luthor back there. We don't know who that's supposed to be in the armor, but
that might actually be a Brainiac, since they're about to do that big Brainiac event.
They call themselves the Revenge Squad or Lex Luthor Revenge Squad.
Lex Luthor Revenge Squad. I'm confused with Superman Revenge Squad. Yeah.
And basically, it says, Superman, either you join us or you die.
You want to hear something BS about that issue? No, it's not just about that issue. Okay, I got the B cover on this, right?
Yeah.
Just real quick. I was so excited. I got home and opened it, and the inner flap was the A cover, and the back of the A cover too. And I'm like, holy crap! I got an awesome mistake variant. Apparently, DC's doing that now with all their variants. They're putting the A covers on the inside.
Oh, you didn't know about that?
No, I discovered that yesterday.
DC did that. They had the outside cover, and then you flip it open, and it was actually the cover.
Yeah, they did that with something this week too. I thought it was a mistake.
Shows you how I've been keeping up, how much I've been keeping up with DC
versus vampires, all that crap.
Yeah, lame.
Number 4, and I was forced to get the second cover because they didn't have the A cover, but World's Finest.
That is not cover. Holy, who did that cover?
It says in here. Sometimes they say on the inside. Nope, this just says Black History Month. Screw you guys. But like you said, same thing.
Yeah.
That is new though. They never used to do this. I've seen they did the cutout part where you actually see like the Superman symbol, and then inside yeah. So I'm not sure who did that second cover. It's the cardstock variant, cover B though. But this is kind of cool. Basically, we get to see both Batmans and both Supermans team up against what was his name again? Gog? Yeah, I think it's. And they basically take the fight to him, beat the shit out of him. I love it.
Is it Gog or Magog?
Magog is actually David is going to be.
Okay.
Gog and Magog are two separate people.
Yeah, Gog is a god. Magog is like his herald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sebastian Mera did the cover, says and did Quinn. But like I said, David remembers everything, his life, before that, and realized he was
Sebastian Mera.
I just love like this is Dan Moore's art on this in the interior here. And just seeing
he's incredible. He's incredible.
Exactly. It's just I just want more of this.
I'm sorry, when they finally get around to doing Justice League again, if they want to do it right, they need to put him on that book.
Yeah,
totally.
Bring in all the heroes, because he basically convinced them that he was wrong. So all the Kingdom Come heroes are just beating the shit out of them. But of course, Superman and Batman both realize what he's actually really at, what God or not what God already has. He has the anti-life equation.
Does he really?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's good.
And they're like, oh crap, because he wants to and they are like, oh, he opened up a portal to a boom tube to Apocalypse, and they're like, there's no way we can let Apocalypse get the hands on his anti-life equation.
Yeah.
So I said, like, this whole battle of them fighting each other, and then you see them just basically.
Yeah, I guess, because that would make Gog a third world god. So I love it when the third world gods go after Gog.
But they're like, we gotta stop him, but he's like, nope, too late. Darkseid's here now.
There he is.
Oh,
Wade, why do you have to be such a douche, Mark Wade? Why?
I know, it's like
so good.
That's one reason why I don't really like social media, because you never would hear these people saying they virtue signal and stuff if there wasn't virtue, because they're not going to say the cons,
Yeah, they might say it in a magazine interview here and there, but yeah, not to the degree.
Yeah, but now that technology is so fast, instant, so we get all the social media stuff, we get all instant information. So, like I said, I never would have known he's a jerk unless I hung out with him. But it's still, it's not really Mark Waid. I say Mark Waid is a dick, but I blame DC. DC as a company should be like, yeah, we're not going to stand for that BS. We understand you're political, but guess what? You're not going to do it while you're associated with us.
Well, but here's the problem: the higher ups at DC agree with him.
Right. I know,
and that tells me they don't want my money.
Yeah,
so they're not going to get it from anything that fucker writes ever again.
I will get it secondhand when I can, if I can, because God, it's good stuff.
Well, you technically can once it goes to your LC. Just wait a few weeks, and then if they have an issue left over, and just buy the back issue.
Yeah,
or buy the trade when it comes out.
The Black Wreath was shitty. What he did to Richard was shitty. The flipping over tables at conventions is shitty.
Yeah,
but it was never aimed directly at me. Now, like I said, that last batch of comments, when he basically said, it wasn't aimed directly at me, but it was aimed at people like me.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Don't you leave, Jackson. Don't you dare.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you,
Lord.
Thug, man. That's my boy.
How old are you? He's your boy.
He's my boy, bro.
Number 3 this week. It's 007. We talked a little about this.
Now, speaking of boys, where's your boy Zach there, E?
The other boy Zach.
I don't know where that ne'er-do-well
he'll show up when he shows up, but man, this whole setup, Master 007 killed my son. I'm like, I've read this before. Thomas Jane Punisher. No, the whole family's gonna get revenge on him, and then he's like, "For God damn it, who turned up the music? Turn it down!" And he just like, I love it. It's just he killed the whole entire family, and then he's like, "Oh, just the grandma's left." He's like, what should I do? It's like, and I just love it. He's like, yeah, better sorry than better safe than sorry. I love that. He just kills the grandma. Oh, it just starts out with a bang. Literally. We also get frozen monkeys in here too. It's just crazy. This whole entire book is just, it feels shorter than a normal book, doesn't it, Breen? When I read it, maybe because it's Bond is Bond, and honestly, Garth Ennis writing Bond, he's back to being Bond, and of course, there's a hot babe who's testing out the guns. And I love how Bond, like you saw with Pierce Brosnan, gets distracted. He's like, "Oh, sounds riveting," as he's staring at the girl's ass walking away. The approach is original former 00 about this project, that was stolen from them. It was an old, and he basically wants to know information on it. Of course, people come to try and kill them. Bond, being the badass he is, he's like, "You freaking kidding me?" So he ends up blowing up his car just to kill them. Goes with the guy, and the guy's like, his arms. Look at that! I love that. His arms, when he's holding the gun, it's gone. It is. I just love it. It's like I said. This is just a fun book.
Think about it. 3 years ago, James Bond was being written by Danny Lore, where Bond was the supporting character to a black lesbian.
Oh boy.
So you can say that maybe comics are getting better.
Like I said, I
I think Chris Gage wrote the series before. Ha cha cha.
Smaller publishers are putting out a lot of bangers these days.
Look at that Red Sonja right there.
Yep. Like I said, it's Garth Ennis. The Ralpha Labosco is the artist. I'm still a mix. I say it's a lot better than the previous we had with Phil Kennedy Johnson's writer or artist that he was working with him. The art's gotten a lot better than that, but I still like that story. But I feel like I said, Breen's right. It is getting better and better. And dude, it's a down. It's a given. If you put Garth Ennis on a book and then you put him on a character that I love, I'm gonna get it, and it's gonna be awesome. I had no doubt in my mind this was gonna be a fun book. Sadly, though, it went up against two other books that came out this week too. That they're just a little bit better. But definitely, I do recommend people if you love James Bond. That is pure James Bond. All right, my number 2 for this week. And I'll probably get flack for this. This is my number 2. I know it's probably Breen's number 1, but Enfield Gang Massacre. Such a heart-wrenching ending. They even tell you more about Enfield at the very end of the book as well. I'm not going to spoil it to tell you exactly what happens, but we kind of figured from the very beginning you saw him in a coffin. I'm just not going to tell you how he died, but you read these here in the back here. They tell you exactly everything that happened as far as the writer Chris Condon going around and interviewing people, and he runs into the great granddaughter of Enfield.
Nice.
So he did luck out. He did have a wife with, or have a daughter with Amy, and then and of course Amy remarries because he's dead, and but even to this day, I think they moved to Connecticut. I think that's what they said in here at the end, where his body's buried. I think that's where they moved him. Yeah. Or is Oklahoma? One of the two. No. They they're all up in Connecticut now. Yeah. So basically, the guy she married got married to. She got married to this guy. He died, and then she fought basically tooth and nail to get Enfield's body from where it was, and from I think it was Arkansas up to Connecticut, and basically now they're all three of them are buried next to each other on a plot in Connecticut. And I'm not sure if there's any more relatives left over. There was because you're talking to the great granddaughter of this, so obviously there must be someone still connected to him. They left, but very sad ending. But unfortunately, that's how life is sometimes. The wrong people are convicted of other people's crimes. Yeah, and I do recommend if you have not checked out the series, check it out. Jacob Phillips' art is fantastic on this. Chris Condon is a mini Brubaker. It's a mini. He's getting there. He's not at Brubaker's level, but he's damn well getting there.
I was able to get the first 2 issues last week, so I'm looking forward to it.
But it is done on paper too.
Yeah, it's done on newsprint,
which is crazy. But yeah, it's got that. The newspaper scratched it. Honestly,
I love the old gun ads in there too. That's
yeah. And then the word,
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're a fan of westerns, you love pulp. Definitely, I think this is way better than pulp.
Well, I don't agree with that.
I agree with that because I said it.
Well, I'm glad you agree with yourself. Now go find a mirror and find someone else that agrees with you on that. And I love this.
Wait.
Well, like you said, you said it yourself. He ain't Ed yet.
He's getting up there. But I do like it. Pulp though. Pulp was a good story, but I did like this a little bit more than Pulp. But
you're as the host, it's your prerogative to be incorrect, but that's okay. No, you do not, Mark. And I know that because in one of my times where I just quit everything at once, I quit that Texas Blood, and I'm kicking myself retroactively. But
I'm going to start reading the Texas Blood because they said Jacob Phillips says they're returning to that after this.
Yeah, I think I might have to go back and get. I think I might have the first 6. But I might to get like the trades.
And
of the
now they know
two.
that's Chris Condon also doing the story in there too.
He did the first one, but yeah,
I never read him.
That name didn't mean anything to me at the time. I mean, I read him and liked him, but yeah, I go through phases where I just quit buying everything, and that just happened to be one of those times.
All right, so number 1 book.
Dun dun dun. Oh yeah,
I figured it had to be something Energon related.
Energon related.
Isn't that what it's called?
Yes.
Energon Universe.
Dear God, did I call what was going to happen in this book?
Yeah, you did. You did.
As far as the Megatron bullshit, I was like, you freaking kidding me?
Spoiler alert.
Yes, spoiler alert. But oh my gosh, it is now. This has another retcon in this. There's another origin change. That's what we saw for Duke a little bit. Cobra Commander has a little thing. They changed that. So apparently his people are from.
No, you got to remember, man. This is based on the old Sunbow cartoons.
Cobra
it's taken from that canon. Yeah. So you never saw G.I. Joe the animated movie back in the. You never seen it.
I watched the movie, but it's like, dude, it's been how many years since I've seen that?
I know, but that's
30 plus.
That's where Cobra Law was originally introduced. Was in that movie. So this is all like a revision of the old cartoon canons.
Cobra Law is pretty much what they're like Atlanteans,
basically, like
subterranean
high culture. Yeah,
and he's a human that basically gets recruited to basically help them out, and then of course, the scientists start using technology, and everyone, the public hears about this. They're upset. They launch a attack. You see Cobra Commander throws a bomb, like a pumpkin bomb almost. Actually, this looks like, well,
there were these, and then he threw those little transformers he made.
Oh my gosh,
those were awesome little Insecticons he made.
Yep. And she's like, "Should I throw a bomb too?" And I love this. The stupid girl. She's like,
"Oh yeah." He's like,
"Here, should I throw this too?" He's like, "Oh, you fool!"
Yeah.
And it causes him to basically be destroyed. God, and they bring him back with technology from snakes biting into him. I just love it. It's just a fun book, man. I almost didn't get this. But then I thought about more. I'm like, well, I brought Transformers. At least I'll enjoy the Transformer part.
Yeah, I remember you were not really you did not like the art when you read the preview a few months ago.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a very, very fun book. Reading up in the back about this is that Cobra Commander, it's always been one of those heels that like a cowardly heels where they said this version, no, he's standing and fighting. He's not going to run away.
He's ruthless.
So to me, right there, that's a plus. Because I remember him always being like Starscream, retreat, save me. I love how they just tweak both their personalities a little bit.
They don't have the 80s restrictions on them.
Yes.
Yeah, but the four cartoons had.
But I just love it. He learns and said, of course, now this is the huge spoiler because it's a little more. So Megatron, it was captured by the Cobra Law down there. And the Cobra Commander is basically been stealing basic technology from Energon from him and he learns that we get to see more about Cybertron, the war and stuff. I just love this, and of course he's like he says I have no use for you. Megatron doesn't have both his arms. We know that Prime's got one of them. We saw that Transformers issue last week,
right?
And he was missing an arm to begin with. So, but Megatron is awake, and that smirk right there means he's gonna escape.
Or he's playing along for some reason too.
Yeah. So what's really cool about this is that he has a chaperone because of this, because they don't trust him. They're going to Florida. They're going
they are going to Florida.
I know, Florida. Yep, you got to go to Florida because Florida is where all the bad guys go. They're going to Miami.
Well, it's snowbirding.
Yeah,
During the summer.
Of course, right here. Going the Dreadnought.
Originally from Australia, but I could see why they would want to be in Florida if they came over here.
Well, Australia sucks, man. The COVID lockdowns. They're going to Florida. Everything's open. Of course, we get to see the previews coming up. So, honestly, if you're looking for comic books to read, the Inner John universe is probably your best bet to get your most. And then Cobra Commander 2. Oh. Chainsaw. Really good week. A lot of got Cobra Commander plus G.I. Joe American Hero came out as well, I believe.
Did you not read that one?
I dropped those. I couldn't follow what was going on because it was the middle of a story. So I gave both my copies, a variant copy to our boy who's not here, Zach. But as it for that, whichever you gentlemen want to go next.
Well, let me go ahead and knock this since you didn't read it this week. Let me just go ahead. My number 3 is Superman number 10. You already talked about that. And my number 1 is Cobra Commander. We already talked about that. So let me just go and go to my number 2 since you dropped that.
Number 2.
Yeah. Well, come on.
Don't drop your number 2s on this stream, okay?
Okay. And we got to go with Real American Hero number 302. By the way, that is the A cover, and it was the best of the bunch. This is a lot. I understand what you're talking about. And I had never really read any of the old G.I. Joe comic book series, but I remember enough from the cartoon to be able to keep up with this. And I think Zach said it well on Twitter. There's I mean, how can you go wrong with that? It's Larry Hama. I believe Breen told us that he is of the opposition side, but you can't tell it in his writing. So it's a lot. So far, this has been an absolute blast to read. So, yeah. And that's an Andy Kubert cover, too, by the way.
Yep. See, I don't remember the show, though. That's the problem. I have to go back and watch the show to remember what's going on. Because you guys are like naming up names. I'm like, who? Jesse Ventura?
Honestly, I think you'd better be. I think you'd better be better served going and reading the old Marvel comic. The show is really hard to sit through. It's just so 80s cheese now. So
I just remember there being like 2 brothers, twins.
Zaytan.
No, were they brothers as in from the same mother or the other type of brother?
No, they're twins. They're identical twins. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's it.
Yeah. All right. Who's going next?
I think maybe Larry Hama, who, like I said, has become a bit of a whiner the last few years. Maybe Kirkman, who obviously has become a bit of an apologist over the last few years, put his business cap on and told everybody else to do the same. Because at some point, somebody might have decided that good comics sell and make money. And maybe Kirkman likes money more than he likes virtue signaling. It was
money and success. Yeah,
call for a while, but so that's a win for everybody.
Well, and I'm seriously doubt Kirkman wants this to end up destroying everything he's built, and he knows that it absolutely could if he gives into it. So, yeah, I think you're right, Breen.
All right. Which one of you gentlemen would like to go first?
I'm not a gentleman, but I'll go next. All righty then.
No one denied that.
No, and I'll wave that flag. I'll wave that flag right there. I mean,
rainbow flag.
No, green flag, the asshole flag. Yeah. All right.
Is it a brown flag if it's an asshole flag?
Yes.
Okay.
Brown with a little taint around it. Okay. Now I have 3 with 1 back issue and then an in-stock trade order.
Nice.
Which I got, it was my Christmas present, and it took this long to get here. Now, number 5. And it says right there, stop, please. As in, stop buying this. Please don't do it anymore.
Then why do you?
I wasn't fucking paying attention. I'm an idiot.
How many times does it have to disappoint you before you stop?
It seems too many.
It's like an abusive ex.
Yes, I'm getting abused by this comic. It flails on me every week, and I just sit there and take it like a little bitch.
I read your little subtitle there. I'm constant as the North Star.
That's actually a Shakespeare / General Chang reference, but
Wu-Tang.
No, General Chang is in Star Trek 6. Now, so we get, how you were talking earlier about the bad art.
Mm-hmm. What is that from? What book is this? Creep Show.
Creep Show. Now,
I did my lessons after I got the first issue the last time around.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Burning Ambition. Okay. So this guy right here, he is a mayor who's running for governor, and he's talking about how comics are woke indoctrination and all this, and he says, but today in the school library, we're drawing a line. We're saying our beliefs not are true. We don't support occultism or transgenderism. We won't let elites force this evil on our children. Gee, who are they going at here? And then they have him burning stuff, and then a little later he gets a librarian. That's the librarian right there. Somehow uses some magic and sends him into this thing.
Where's the librarian?
The
You're with the black hair.
really pretty lady.
Yeah, the real.
That's Mariko Tamaki.
No, that's or Kelly Sue.
Kelly Sue, yeah.
If they merged,
sends him into something like hell, where all the dividers on the comics are slicing him up, and it kills him. Gee.
Oh my gosh! If they merge, it'd be Subi Mariko Tamaki DeConic.
And so they aren't being they're being very subtle as to who they're trying to.
And that's an Image Skybound publication.
Yes.
Well, never mind on what Breen just said.
And the second one isn't as bad, but it's an abusive father who's saying, the kid is saying, "Oh, there's a monster under the bed," and he's like, "No, there's not." But it turns out but there actually is a monster under the bed, and he wants to. It has to eat something that the kid loves, and the kid's like, "Well, fuck, I love comics." So the thing eats comics for the next few years, and then the father is, giving him a bunch of shit, saying, you need to get a real job and all this stuff, and then the bad guys wind up eating the father. And so
okay, so if you're against transgenderism, you have to die. If you are a father, you have to die. Jesus fuck.
Yeah, the mother was in there too, but she was just kind of like a milksop, Oh, I support him.
I guess. Yeah, I maybe figure that nobody will notice that this is the same company, because I don't think they'll put it in the Transformers, the G.I. Joes, because even with the best stories, what's Creepshow going to sell? 6,000.
Yeah. Well, one less now, but I think I said that the last time too.
Yeah. Well, stay strong, son.
Yeah. Not going to happen.
Jay, what the hell is Ara?
A real American hero, G.I. Joe.
Just type in G.I. Joe.
No.
It's all the same.
No.
Or it could be it's a military thing. Ara. Yeah. Number 2. Deviant.
Wait, it sounds like Creepshow should have been number 2. Am I right?
Yes. Yes. A big steaming pile of number 2.
It comes with toilet paper as incentive.
And So then Deviant. But the last couple of issues, it's been good up until this point. But this one, they at the beginning they have, you know, the first part they got one of the characters, and he's having a discussion with his coworker about the little kind of girly looking one, how his boyfriend is older and how older gay guys wind up being like really lonely and bitter. So we get this whole thing about how, you know, how horrible it is to be an older gay guy, I guess. And then the rest of the story is in there, and they really should be focusing on the story instead of messaging us about this type of stuff. They could have had the story done by now if they hadn't thrown in all this extra crap. Yeah. But number 1, World's Finest by everyone's favorite writer.
Vita Ayala's on World's Finest?
Yes.
Great.
And I liked the cover, but dude's not in it. You know, but that's okay. You know, don't need to say any more about this because you guys discussed.
You can tell us your favorite parts.
And it was, you know, the whole story was entertaining. But okay, then back issue. You guys were talking so much about it last week. I had to go in and get it.
Yes.
Lucky you had the shop has still had one.
Wow.
Yes, and I love this cover. There was other covers. I love this one. Great book. You guys did not do. You did not steer me wrong. Okay, then we're going to get I have one other one. I'm going to show you that last because I'm going to get slaughtered for that. So I'm just going to wait till the end for that. Then my right before Christmas, my mom sent me a check for, you know, that I could use for birthday presents. Ordered it on In Stock Trades on the 22nd, and then this got here like Friday or Saturday of last week. So one of them is this. It's the first one of an adaptation of her books. I got this just to fill out the order to get it as close to the 100 as I could. This good book. I'm not a big fan of the art. It's just, you know, kind of, you know, who's that guy that always worked on the Long Halloween and stuff like that?
Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb.
Yeah, Sales. It sort of reminds me of Sales art. I'm not a super big fan of Sales art, and I do not like long-eared Batman.
Kelly Jones.
Well, you sir can just get out.
Get out and because this guy here is a huge Kelly Jones fans.
Jay is?
Yeah, apparently.
Hey, and if you like it, fine. You know, I'm just saying, you know.
I do like Kelly Jones. I'm from the 90s. I love those covers. So, yeah. And I was
born in 85, but I grew up in the 90s. Doesn't mean I like Kelly Jones.
You know what I realized? One of the first things I realized when I sobered up was, man, Kelly Jones sucks.
Oh, shut up. Now, I am a big Tim Sale fan, so I don't.
I like Tim Sale.
I like Tim Sale. He's a great artist. I mean,
I feel like Kelly Jones gave Breen a reason to keep drinking.
It almost made me start back. This is sobriety.
Did you have you read this? Any of you guys read this?
No.
Okay. It reminds me of
who wrote it?
Mark Waid.
Steve Niles.
I was just kidding.
Mark Waid.
Steve Niles. It reminds me a bit of Hush, in the sense that you have an unknown bad guy coming in. He's using other bad guys as a distraction to commit another crime. Batman doesn't know who he is, so he's He's trying to figure out the mystery. This other guy's killing all these other people. So he's trying to figure this out, who it is, and he's going after Man Bat because Dr. Crane, and a couple of other people, and then he's actually falling in love with some new detective and all that. So it's a bit sort of like Hush, but it was still.
I was going to say that Steve Niles wrote 30 Days a Night.
Yeah.
He also wrote Kick-Ass 2 with a girl.
Yes, and he also did Criminal Macabre, which I love the series on that.
So I have a question. Marcus said Kelly Jones' art is great. Is there anybody you can think of whose art has absolutely no middle ground? You're either Team Kelly's great or he sucks. I don't know if anybody's just neutral on Kelly Jones.
No, you're right. But I'll tell you this, in the 90s, though, just seeing his covers on the stands, there was just a really cool factor about it.
Did you like him because of the big capes like McFarlane?
No, I like the long ears, even though they're the most impractical thing ever. They look awesome. So that's me.
I'll never argue with anybody that loves Kelly Jones because there's probably more of them than there is of me. But I said, why is it that I can't stand Kelly Jones, but I like Tim Sale?
And you hit the pit art.
Tim Sale looks like the Lego movies come to life. But I like it.
Well,
everybody looks like a fire plug.
Look at Riley Rosmo on Sandman. It's starting to grow. People are starting to like his art.
Yeah, I think that's fascinating because art is absolutely subjective. I also know that if you polled 100 fans, who's better, the guy Humberto Ramos or Ed Benes? Humberto Ramos would run away with it, and that's just objectively wrong.
And I think Humberto Ramos is coming up to Comic-Con up here in April.
Well, you'll know his feet will get there a day before the show.
And Munch, I love Munch, Mark. Munch and the guy that he did Moon Knight with is
Kelly Jones is Batman. He goes, he can't get into any of the vehicles because he'll close on his ears.
Yeah.
I hate the long ears. I'm not a big fan of the yellow thing around the bat either.
It'd be cool to put like 2 holes in the roof.
You talking about the
drive so the ears can come out?
Yeah.
You don't like the emblem, the Michael Keaton emblem?
No, I like just.
You've
seen the shirts that I wear, just the one without the circle around it. Yeah, I like it.
Jeff, we're just appreciative that you wear shirts.
Yes.
Well,
wait.
If Batman was real, there's no way Bruce would go with the long ears.
You should not be wearing any shirts that have a circle on it because we don't want to have any Power Girl moments with you.
Yeah, a window.
Next. Hey, if I do this shit next week, you can't complain because it's your idea. Thank you very much.
Do what?
Show up on this with no shirt on. And speaking of
I'm tempted to let Breen die from that moment, but also I'm tempted. I also don't want to have like the negative views on my channel. Then it could go viral.
But like I said, I'm doing it for everyone's sake because I don't even like seeing me with no shirt on.
It's like I'll be the most hated person because I killed Breen.
Zach, is that your computer making that noise? It sounds like someone just unplugged somebody's life support.
Well, Zach, it came in with Zach.
We can't
hear you, Zach.
That would be why.
Yeah. Oh, good.
There's nothing making noise in my house. I don't know what that is.
Zach came in and killed the stream,
your microphone was making a bad speed.
It was muted.
And we did sort of like the mute part until it actually started beeping.
There was some sort of feedback that you couldn't hear, but it's over now.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, and one more.
Boom. Nice.
Nice.
This is a $100 omnibus. The Batman was $50, and the other one, the check I got from my mom was $100. I got all 3 of those for about like $96.
Nice.
Wow.
This is awesome. I'm not very far in, as you can see, but I'm loving it.
Best continuous horror series in comic book history.
Yep. Now, speaking of horror, I know you guys are probably going to rip me apart for this, but I just mentioned our comic con
Is
that
it
we have up
horror
here.
or horrible?
Yes.
Yes.
I was at a artist booth and he had a bunch of signed comics, and I was like, okay, hey, this one is signed. It looks pretty good, and I had it going through my collection of stuff that I was putting in separately.
If it's signed by Bob Layton, Morania would kill you for it.
No, it is signed by somebody, and I probably will get killed, but
Well, I understand.
Christina Ward? Oh.
no, it's signed by Mark Wade.
Oh.
And I didn't. I guess at the time I didn't realize
for that. I can't hate you for that. I mean,
I didn't know who Wade was, or I didn't realize how much of a tool he was.
You should have got some Robert Venditti books signed.
Yeah,
He won't come in. This just happened to be sitting there with.
I got a few to spare.
Yeah, he sent them in the mail to Jay.
Yeah,
I do have some of the Hack Slash Tim Sale Hack Slash stuff signed, and
I've never had anything signed in my life, but Joe sent me 4 books one time. It was a signed Walt Simonson book. I have Mags's autograph.
All right.
Somebody else that's pretty big in the industry whose name I can't remember. And Joe didn't sign his own book that he sent me.
You know what's funny though? If you would have got like before Megs, before he started calling himself, if you would have got his signature, Brian.
I wonder if that's worth money. Like
it probably is.
But Umberto Ramos, he's coming up here in April, and is he the guy that helped create
Strange Academy? I think he was the artist on Strange Academy.
Who was the guy that also did some of the Carnage stuff?
He didn't create Carnage, though. No, but he was on Spider-Man for a while, and he made Spider-Man look like Ronald McDonald feet.
I've never been a fan of his art.
Spider-Man is not...
The one book he would have been suited for would have been Impulse, but they found somebody else that kind of drew like him.
Like, everybody always tries to drive Spider-Man, like, you know, ever since after Romita or Senior left the book, it seems like the 90s, like, oh, we're going to draw Spider-Man looking like he's Reed Richards and
everybody tries to make him look like McFarlane did because that was so popular.
I don't like skinny version of Peter Parker. Sorry. He shouldn't be tall and skinny and Langley, like the Slender Man.
Yeah, he should be. I disagree. I think
so. We got Umberto Ramos.
That's not how he was.
Ryan Hurst. I don't know if you know who that is.
Well, Ditko was like that. McFarlane was imitating Ditko.
But Ditko wasn't that exaggerated, though.
Oh, sure he was.
Am I the only person who doesn't?
I like Romita better than them all too. I'm with you on that, Vank. But yeah,
I don't like Romita Jr. I don't like his art.
Junior's
art, people don't. He mails it in.
He was good in the 80s.
Yeah,
and into the 90s when especially with Layton inking him. But
yep.
Yeah, his I don't think he was ever as good as his dad, not even close. But
no.
Then again, not many people were.
He ain't no Jacob Phillips.
We don't know. Could be because he did a lot of. Romita has a hell of an output. He was probably there were times where he was doing 2 books a month, and that's not easy. But anyway, sorry, kept interrupting you there, Jeff.
Yeah, no, not a problem. I like the conversations. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a The thing with Romita Jr., it's always the lines that he puts in the face. I don't like his. I don't know.
He needs a faces that look worse than Kirby's did.
And this is coming from someone with my face that says he doesn't like people's faces in this.
I never said I liked your face.
No, I know you didn't.
It's such a face.
All right. Are you done, sir? Get more? Or
yes, I am. That's
all right. All right, Mr. Breen.
All right.
Tell me how I'm wrong.
You told me y'all were almost done. You made me run through red lights to get here.
Yeah, I did.
We're just going to get you killed.
Zach, I didn't want you to miss me.
Green, I would have run through red lights for you.
Now you get 3 tickets for blowing stop sites?
Okay.
I already had 2 to start with.
This is from last week. I friend of mine told me about this. It's a book called Pine in Merrimack.
I read about this. I haven't read it, but I read about it.
Husband and wife team. She's a detective. He's an ex-boxer. She met him on a case involving him when his sparring partner had been found murdered, and it turned out to be the manager. But they fell in love, and now basically she has a detective agency, and he's the brawn. Well, they take a missing persons case because her sister went missing and then was found dead. And he goes, I thought we didn't take those cases because they usually always end up dead. But it reminded her of her sister. And there's a scene where she goes into a bar and she's starting in on a bunch of guys, and they go, you think she's got a gun? She goes, I don't need a gun. I have a husband. And he just looks at his wife and says, which one? She goes, all of them. And he proceeds to kick the shit out of all of them.
Oh.
This is a really good. It's not girl boss. They're equals. Great book. I'm so glad that Jerry told me about that.
I'll have to pick that one up.
I
It's
saw
probably
that.
worth-
I didn't know whether I should get it, but I'm going to go back tomorrow and get it.
And
Pine
it's-
in Merrimack, is that what it's called?
yeah, and that's a street. That's a street crossing, not their names.
Oh.
And someone comes in to hire him and goes, which one of you is Pine? Which one's Merrimack? Because they play into that. But all right, number 7.
Wow.
I'm done with that.
I dropped that by the second issue.
Yeah,
huh?
it's
Whoa.
nothing.
I thought you did
nothing
too.
happens. Nothing happens. Well,
Do the word bubbles get better?
No. But like I said, that's not worth even talking about. Number 6, Jay Garrick, Flash. So it's I guess I about the same. Yeah, we both had number 6. It's not that I didn't like what was done because I don't like what it took away from Jay Garrick's origin was the randomness. It's like when they retcon Batman's origin to where the Falcones paid Joe Chill to kill the Waynes. It just, like I said, to me it was unnecessary. Turning the kindly old professor, whatever, into a mass murdering psychotic that was willing to kill hundreds to save the world. Is it turning Alan Scott cartoonishly gay? I don't know. I didn't like this either. I'm still going to keep reading the book because unlike Tim Sheridan, Jeremy Adams has earned some goodwill. But I don't think this was necessary. I don't like when origins. I don't mind when they're expanded on in certain ways, but when, like I said, this just made it. I said it just took a character. It was never used again, so it's like, who cares? But I like that this just up till now it just happened to Jay Garrick. Just like Wally West, or Barry Allen just happened to be in the lab when the lightning struck the chemicals and bathed him in it. It's like it could have happened to anybody, but it happened to Jay. And it's when it just all these machinations going on behind the scenes. It's not a fan of it. Number 5.
Chances are, though, they probably won't go with that for a while. They'll get changed again or forgotten.
Well, that's fine. Like I said, it's. I'm not going to stop reading his stuff. I mean, I'll buy the next issue. I wasn't a fan of what he did in that instance. We talked about this. This, if nothing else, this was worth it for Hal Jordan's line at the end of the issue.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was.
I laughed really hard out loud when I said when you sometimes when you live alone you don't say a word for hours, and like I said it's
I had forgotten that movie existed.
Yeah. I got the first one of those, and then the second one they were charging like $30 for the poly bag thing. I couldn't afford it, and then I went back to get it, and they didn't have it, so I haven't got it since then. So I'm just gonna have to get the trade. I want to finish reading that.
They're already advertising the trade.
Number 4. Miracle Man.
That's still coming out?
Yeah, this was finishing up the first story arc, or the story arc from the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it ends with a confrontation between Miracle Man and Dickie Dauntless, and he just basically says, it basically gives him a choice: join his world or not. He goes, well, I guess I'm going to be your arch nemesis now, and he leaves. So, because I said it's you read this, Miracle Man is not the hero. He's basically turned the earth into it's like the Boys on steroids, where where nothing's what it seems because everything's a sham. And Dickie, who is no choir boy either, is probably just doing it to have something to do, to be contrarian. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes in the next arc.
There you go, Mark. Mark was saying, like, there's no Miracle Man?
Yeah, it's I caught that.
Yeah. What about Phantom Road? Did you get that?
I didn't know that. I remember that from early 90s Image. I didn't know that was back.
I don't know if it's the same one, but it's like with these people who went up in this weird place where they look like angels. We're not sure what they are. I read the first issue just like Zach did, and I just never went back because I had so many other books. So it's going with.
We talked about this. This is my number 3. Excellent book. I said I thought I thought he'd lost his memory, not just his powers.
At first, yeah.
Because I thought he was, actually robbing the train.
Yep.
So yeah, I told Rod that. Oops. But this was a neat story. I liked it. And then when he came back, and Lena tries to warn him. I like what they're doing with the Luthers, even though we didn't get much of it in this issue. And I think I will stay with this until if and when they turn Lex bad and we find out it was all an act again. As long as that doesn't happen, I'm in, because I like this, because it's hard to come up with new things to do with characters that have been around for 85 years.
Yep.
Joshua Williamson's actually managed to do it. And you're right, Mark. More people should, but I think that's just kind of been lost to time.
I feel like they're just gonna have Lex keep saying, like, need to kill these people, otherwise they'll basically telling you're an idiot. That's the extent of him. I don't think he'll go evil.
Yeah, I didn't stick with it all the way through in the 80s, Mark, but anybody hadn't read the first story arc of Miracle Man. Now, I don't know if it would mean as much now, but in the mid 80s, when you see him flying towards a compound and the panel shows him flying through the soldiers. Now, keep in mind, this is 1984 or 5. You didn't see stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
I didn't see any of it until 85, 86.
An entire issue that was told as this guy's life was flashing before his eyes because he'd had his head lopped off by Miracle Dog.
Oh,
and you don't find that out till the last panel. It's the last page. It's wild. It's just
spoilers.
Well, it's 40 years old.
I know.
Number 2, The Punisher. I mean, no, I was right. The Punisher. This is the best Punisher story I've read in years. Garth Ennis hasn't missed a beat. When he whacks Grandma Nucci, and it just keeps going from there. It's, not great. I think this is a little bloodthirstier than even Bond, but I'll take it. This is like throwing red meat to Garth Ennis, who turned around and threw red meat to fans.
Yep.
So I'm in. Can't wait for the next issue.
Zach, you should be picking it up if you're a fan of James Bond stuff.
Not that big. I like his stuff fine.
I'm not surprised. You don't like Michelle Pfeiffer? You don't like?
I like a mission. I'm more of a Mission Impossible guy. I like Ethan Hunt.
Get it ready, Venkman, because you're gonna need it for him when he gets full screen.
Screw it.
One.
I don't have any apples this week. You saw my top 5.
You are an apple.
Hey, then one of me a day keeps the doctor away.
It keeps me away. Yeah, that's right. I'm leaving.
Number 1.
Good. Stop texting me in the middle of the night.
I'm sorry, Enfield Gang Massacre. Zach keeps interrupting. We already talked about this. The what if scene, and then the reality. This is comics at its finest. This is really good. It's
heart wrenching.
It's not quite as good as Pulp, but it's really well. If you'd been here,
I'm just saying because I liked Pulp. I liked what I'd read of this, but I thought Pulp was.
Vecman said this was better than Pulp, so that was a callback to that.
I like my orange juice without pulp.
See,
Same.
Bum, bam.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Breen.
I was going to say I like my streams without Geekeasy, but you know that.
Oh!
That I can do that. I like that. Hey, don't throw it if you don't expect someone to come back at you. I mean, I can appreciate him coming back.
So anyway, like I said, terrific. Looking forward to the resumption of that Texas Blood. I guess I better get out and read the 12 issues or so that I missed.
I know, same here. It's like I'm gonna go back and read them.
Oh, is that still going on? I thought it wrapped up.
No, it's been gone, but it's coming back.
Oh, okay.
And I quit that during one of my I quit everything phases, and I really wish I hadn't because I really liked it while it was out, but for some reason I don't know what why I quit periodically. I quit periodicals periodically, but
as long as you don't put a period on that, as long as you end up coming back to it.
All right, that's it.
What? No, I want to watch Breen drink his Coke.
Yeah, is that Coke Zero? That's a Coke Zero, isn't it?
One sip at a time.
I wish I had Pixel's fingers to respond to that, Jay.
I should go get a Pepsi. Then all three of us could have cans of soda on stream.
I was gonna say, we already got one. We got a Pepsi and a Coke, and we got a.
Hey, oh no, that's Pepsi Zero though. That's not real Pepsi.
But
I got the real stuff.
Wait. So I want to see Geekeasy and Eric go up to the counter and both sit down and trade sodas.
I've got my Coke, Zach. Jeff has his Pepsi, Zach.
You got your bubbly from Kroger.
Yeah. See,
Buble.
Yeah.
Breen and I can't get the real drinks that we want, so we have to get these instead.
You can get whatever you want. It's just you need to go to the hospital.
No, it's after almost 32 years, I haven't wanted that for decades.
I was gonna say if you're gonna drink in moderation. If you can't, if you don't know what moderation is, then you shouldn't be drinking it.
I don't remember when I was drinking, and now I don't remember what it was like to. Well, that makes sense actually.
Man.
Schlitz-gay, wasn't it?
Jackson's me up.
Schlitz-gay.
So
Schlitz-gay.
Yeah.
See,
It wasn't as good when Van Halen made them take beautiful girls out of it, but still a funny bit.
There's times that I miss it just because the getting away from things, but I don't miss it at all, really.
Oh, hi everybody.
Hi, Zach.
Zach,
It's me.
Are you wearing a robe?
No. This
Oh,
is my
okay.
shirt.
I always see your neck part. I'm like, this.
This is a shirt.
he works all night
he's-
and he sleeps all day, or
Both. I work all day and all night. What is
Slam with
sleep?
you, Hefner.
That's funny. All right. No apples this week. All bangers all the time. Actually, I know they're all bangers because you know what my number 6 is? It's the book that I love, and that's Williamson's Superman. This was great. I do have a beef with it. It's only one issue that he's in the West. I thought it was going to be like a whole story arc. It's like way too
Farted
quick.
and he's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to see like Jonah Hex or Batlash.
Oh yeah.
Instead
that
we
was
get
awesome.
Terra Man, whoever that. No, this still was a great issue. Of course, it was a great issue. I was expecting more Old West Superman than we got. Next up, dang, I love this. I wasn't expecting it to be this good. The other Williamson book. Dang, this was good. Man, this is okay. So didn't expect. Are we doing spoilers? Did y'all spoil this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. I was not. Wow. Way to go, guys. Just spoil it. No. I was not expecting Cobra Law to be a part, like, where he comes from. Because I was thinking Cobra Commander from the Real American Hero series, where he's just like a normal dude. But here he's like
totally based on the
he's-
Sunbow cartoons.
he's from Cobra Law in this. He's a,
even though.
is he? He's not human. Look at the picture. He's got like a snake eye. He's
No,
from
in this
Cobra
one
Law.
in this one he's human, but
Is
Cobra
he?
Law, yeah, you have to go back and read it. Cobra Law, whatever. I forgot the leader.
I thought he was in Cobra Law.
He is part of
He was
Cobra
in
Law.
Cobra Law, but they
Cobra Law,
rescued him.
the leader,
They
I
brought him
forgot
in.
his name, raised him from a youth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I might have to reread that. I just thought he was a native of Cobra Law. Anyway, I thought Cobra Law was really cool, and then I kind of guessed when seeing this in the background of the cover that there would be Transformers popping up in this.
Sorry,
I thought
Zach,
it was pretty cool. What are you sorry for?
with the whole with Megatron.
Oh, shoot. I mean, I don't know why you're apologizing.
No, because I called it on Monday night, saying he's probably gonna pop up in Cobra.
I wasn't. Did we talk about it Monday night?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I think we did.
Yeah, we did.
I can't remember. Today was a
What
day,
year
man.
is it?
Today was a day. I can't remember days. But yeah, no, the Megatron reel was cool. I like that. If you read the letter that Josh Williamson wrote in the back, that was really cool. A really cool letter too, talking about like how he wanted this Cobra Commander to be different. Like he doesn't run away after every battle. Like he's very much a more aggressive Cobra
Well, yeah,
Commander,
we talked about that.
which I
earlier.
dig.
Right.
I like.
They don't have the restrictions that the 80s
Yeah.
cartoons had. You know.
Yeah. I really dig that actually, and
Me
I
too.
like it
Oh, yeah.
the very end where he's like going after the Dreadnoks. I really I'm really actually I might be looking forward to reading issue 2 of this a little bit more than Duke, just a little bit. Really enjoyed this. Next up, this was the best issue so far of Justice League Godzilla Kong. The freaking League of Shadows showing up was cool. Whatever they have planned is really cool. I did like the whole underwater battle scene. That ending scene was cool that Breen was talking about. If we're doing spoilers, have y'all spoiled the ending of this one yet?
Spoiled the shit.
Okay. Yeah, the freaking Kraken, the release the Kraken. Oh my gosh, that was fantastic.
What? Oh,
That was awesome. I freaking love that. I also thought it was really cool when they had King Kong do the stare down contest with Supergirl, because Kong, of course, has a thing for blondes, and you know, I thought he was going to try to like grab her or paw at her or something.
Can I point some out real quick?
Sure.
You called them the League of Shadows too.
Are they not the League of Shadows?
Assassin.
It's League of Assassins, and Venkman said the same thing. That's crazy.
But I corrected myself. Though.
They've changed them. I think they changed it originally for Batman the Animated Series because they couldn't say assassin.
I mean, I thought weren't they called
that? Ollie says League of Assassins.
Weren't they the League of Shadows and Batman Begins?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I thought of that then. Okay, because that's where my brain goes. Because that's the first time I didn't watch the animated series before Batman Begins.
I'm going to kill you, but I'll just save you.
Yeah. But anyway, best issue of Justice League Godzilla Kong so far. Then we have this.
Oh yeah.
Frickin' A, man. Frickin' A. Zombie cyborg ninjas. That's it. That's all I gotta. That is all I should have to say. This is awesome.
Zombie mutant cyborg ninjas.
Cyborg mutant cyborg ninjas, and then Snake Eye just mops the floor with them anyway. So
well, or did he?
Or did he?
Or did your heart on a certain crater?
He and Scarlet set that thing up. You know they set that picture.
Probably.
Did he was in there?
Who?
Did he? He was in this comic?
Did he?
I don't know.
Or did he?
More bad
Anyway,
jokes.
yeah. Man, you guys better never make fun of my bad jokes again. This has been my favorite issue of the storyline so far. I was hating this storyline. I wasn't hating. That's a little harsh.
Yeah, you found it mid. I think.
This story started out very mid, but this and the previous issue have really ramped up steam. This one in particular, I really loved. The ending page of this one going to the finale is gonna be bonkers. I'm here for it, man. Dark Side. When they find out that Gog basically has the anti-life equation, it was like that was awesome, and that would have made it my number one had this other book not come out. And that is. Freaking love this, man. I love this book. I'm going to take a different approach to this than what Breen said. I can appreciate the randomness of Jay getting his superpowers, but I also can appreciate taking a throwaway character like Professor Hughes, and who we never heard from again, and actually like building him into. I like how they actually built him into a larger part of the canon overall. He's really a devious bastard as far as being a villain goes. The one thing I will say, this I did not think this is an 8 out of 10. It doesn't get a perfect 10. It was very exposition heavy, which I get. This is the first time they're really talking about the villain, so I get you need some exposition, but it didn't have to be all exposition. You do
exposition to go with bastardizing an origin.
Can I bring up something?
Honestly, I've never even heard of that character before this point.
He's new. He's brand new.
And I feel like a lot of people don't even know Jay's origin, except for people who are old like you.
Except for the people that read
I was born in Dallas in 1976. Jay Garrick. There's a bad joke for you.
Majority of their readers of today are in their early 20s.
That's true. I can
again,
see that.
If you're to say that, then you should have no problem with Alan Scott being a swishy gay.
I said I don't have a problem with that because
swishy gay.
It's only in that issue.
But no, here's the thing.
I'm using that.
Squish. Make him squishy and gay.
Swishy.
Squishy. Not squishy. Swishy. Okay, excuse me. That's even funnier.
Personal.
No, because the thing is, Alan has had multiple relationships with women. It doesn't make as much sense for him. It doesn't really change Jay so much. I mean, because Jay, he wasn't picked at random. He wasn't randomly in the lab. He was a pawn of this guy's schemes. Okay, I'll give you that. But I do like how something that the doctor meant for bad, Jay was able to like become a hero out of it. I do like that. I also am kind of curious. Like, it looks like he's going after Joan, who doesn't get so much of the spotlight a lot of the time. So anyway, I like it. I'm kind of leaning more towards, I know Venkman's like, if Johns leaves and they want to continue JSA, Adam should be the one. I was more on the Venditti side. This is slowly leaning me towards rooting for Adams if they decide to take it over.
Johns is gone.
Johns is gone because he's going to Mad Ghost. But if DC decided to keep this up, I think they could do a lot. I mean, I know they could do a lot worse than
Ghost Machine
Adams.
#1 next week.
Ghost Machine, yeah, it's one of my 3 books on my pull list.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
3 books
Breen,
next week.
Hey, Breen,
yes,
you owe Jackson an apology. You have made him throw away his books and waste his money this week, and I think that's horrible of you.
Well,
no, I think he might have actually done that in response to Zach, I think.
Which
one?
Actually, he says JL. He could be in J. Lucian.
He could.
Or
JL throws Justice League away.
Is it
Wait.
Lucian or
He's
Lucian?
talking about Justice League, Kong, Godzilla.
How do you pronounce
I
your
cut
last
down
name?
trees. I wear high heels. What is?
And he also made him earlier. He made what was it? Oh yeah, Miracle Man. You made him throw Miracle Man away for him. God.
So, but Jay, how do you pronounce your last name? I butchered
Lucian.
It's like Lucius. It's like Lucius, but with
Which
an
is
N
my
at the end.
actual last name. Oh, spoiler alert.
Well, we all know your last name is actually Luscious. Jay Luscious.
Yeah. Wow, that's original. Never have heard that one.
And I know.
How many times have you heard
that would have been his name had he gone into pro wrestling.
Yeah, probably.
Luscious Jay. Hey,
that works. I kind of like that.
Hey, but then of course, Lush is still. You have a sister named D.
No.
Okay.
I do have a sister, but I'm not saying her name.
It's Rebecca.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure, why not?
Zach, please continue.
I'm done. That's it. I only had the 6 books this
no
week.
back issues.
Nope. I spent $21 this week, so
I-
a little over the budget, but I have like a hard limit of $25.
I forgot to show something. So
All right.
if I can have the
Bring it
screen
up.
one more
Bring it
time,
up.
real quick. I said, Venkman will be getting a bill.
Oh yeah.
And a box with that
Hey,
in there, right?
Venkman, show that book. Ugh, so that's
So
terrific.
why would Marvel not exist as we know it today had he survived?
Okay. Joe Maneely was Stan Lee's right-hand man. When Martin Goodman cut production down to the bone, basically fired everybody but Stan. Stan brought Joe in to continue doing a couple things and had Joe Joe apparently, the story goes, he may have lost his glasses earlier in the week, but he was out drinking on a Saturday night, fell under a train, got run over. And that was right around the time that Martin Goodman was going to suspend everything, but they reversed course. Jack came back, Ditko came back, and I think Don Heck might have. And had Joe lived, instead of Stan and Jack might have stayed at DC or moved on to other things. And it would have been Stan and Joe. And there's no telling what. Jack was instrumental in creating all of these characters.
Sure.
Who knows what kind of imagination Joe had? So it might have looked completely different. And the superhero line may have never happened. And without that, there's nothing to grow into what became the MCU. Who knows where comics would have been? Because if DC hadn't had Marvel come along and compete with them and eventually surpass them,
Right.
who knows if comics would have lasted? Because there's no telling. I mean, because it had been around for 20 years at that time.
Or what if Charlton had actually taken a Marvel-like course and they blew up in the 60s and 70s to that degree? I mean, who knows? I'm throwing out what if.
So it's
So so you're saying his death is a fixed moment in time. He changed that.
Butterfly effect.
To me, the two greatest what ifs, as far as like how the comic book industry progressed, if Dr. Wortham had never brought this to light and had the trials and ended up creating the code, would there have been a superhero revival? But I'm saying there probably wouldn't have been, because there'd have been no reason for it, because everything would have continued. And eventually people would have gotten tired of it. Maybe DC would have come up with it eventually, but who knows? Because they were scrambling for things to do. So they created Barry Allen in '56. Then a couple years later, Challengers of the Unknown, then Green Lantern, then the Justice League, and then the Atom, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure.
And Marvel may have never happened if there not been. And then the other one is, what if Joe Maneely had lived? We'll never know, and things worked out the way they did. But it's something to think about. It's one of those questions you can't answer, but it's interesting to speculate.
Was he electrocuted on the track? Was it a subway track, or was he just pass out on the track and the train hit him?
I think he was run over.
Subways didn't come around until the 60s, I think, right?
I don't know.
Electric rails.
I don't know.
It
wasn't a subway. Yeah, so but yeah, it's very prolific while he was alive. Very good artist. I mean, he was considered by his peers better than Jack at the time.
Wow.
Art wise, I mean, Jack, like I said, definitely had the most fertile mind in the history of comics. So, like I said, but it was nice. It was cool of this to come out. Yeah, because nobody can afford the issues he did. And I learned that he did one cover for DC. House of Mystery 73. with Joe Sinat inking, and I didn't know that he ever worked for DC, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
It's kind of weird though. I mean, with people give Wortham a hard time for the whole, what he did, selection of the innocent and all that stuff. But if he hadn't done that, it's like you said, we wouldn't have comics the way they are today.
Yeah,
well, he's been proven right in a lot of ways too recently. So he has.
But he probably just delayed some of it. But
well, a lot of people just have a knee-jerk reaction whenever his name comes up, and I can understand that because he basically put a giant turd in the punch bowl. And killed arguably the greatest line of comics that had ever existed, being EC. But how much longer would the horror and the crime, because there's always how much more could it have escalated? How much more graphic could it have gotten, or would it have gotten? And the same with the crime comics. And
yeah, you wouldn't have Garth Ennis.
So who knows? I said it's
bubble would have eventually.
You can't. I said I can see people that just his name elicits hatred. I get that, but it also he was overzealous, no question. But it's his heart, I think, was in the right place.
Yeah, I think he sincerely cared about the youth of America.
He went on to he kind of redeemed himself in the last 15 years of his life. I mean, he continued to work with children, and so it's just. But I said he fundamentally changed the industry, and I think inadvertently for the better.
And also, people give this a hard time, but if he had a point in a couple things, not so much so, but there was if you look at the golden age of Batman and Robin, Bruce and Dick were sleeping in the same bed. And of course, it was completely innocent in that. I mean, they weren't implying anything, but him sitting there saying, "Oh, it'll lead to homosexuality." No, it's just these guys doing some stupid stuff and have them sleep in the same bed.
Okay, well, see, that's the perception of it. But you know what? Perverts existed back then, and perverts existed in comic books. They had to have. So you never know. And I'm not saying that those who were doing Batman at the time were perverts, but they might have been. There might have been something to that. I don't know.
But the way I look at it, the way I look at it, it was innocent. It was stupid for them to have him do it. Why would they go in the same bed? But I don't think they were trying to get across that they were both gay, and so he was overreacting to that a little bit, I think. But
and Mark, I'm not so sure if he did know it, because one of the things that we do now is we put things through a fairly
You should call it Back in My Day with Breen.
In my day. It's things were so much different back then than things we take for granted now. But somebody that he may have truly believed some of that bullshit back then, and like I said, he kind of came around later on, and we'll never know, because like I said, because he was by no means the first to beat this drum. I mean, there was an article published, I think, in the early 40s about comics being bad for kids. So I mean, the detractors were there, from day one, because it was almost. But as someone pointed out, that one of the reasons, the thing that probably led to the rise in juvenile delinquency were the children growing up without fathers who had been killed in the war.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But I can't get inside Wortham's head. I said I can't conceive of anybody coming to those conclusions, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that someone, a learned doctor could have come to those.
He could have just been a snob.
Well, like I said, he just there were mass comic book burnings. There was, I mean, it was, because that's why so much of this shit is so valuable now.
Right, they boosted the value.
Because in the 40s, a lot of it was pulped to recycle for paper for the war,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the 50s, a lot of them went up in bonfires because of puritanical parents that. Yeah, so it's just
Superman's the devil.
And now the woke are going to do comic book burnings in the future.
See, what does that remind me of?
Wait, no, there will be burnings. We're gonna burn the ones that are woke.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones the people that were doing that shit in the 50s are closer to the SJWs of today, because everybody talks about the like the church ladies in the 80s and stuff like that. They had no power. No one listened to them. They were mocked.
It's more like the Nazi Party when they burned books.
Today,
yeah.
I said that not only do they have power, they have almost all the power, because their views are the accepted narrative now, and that's deeply troubling.
Accepted narrative within their bubble, which is the bubble that controls all of it. So
yeah.
And you're beginning to see people fight back against it, but I think it's going to decline. But it's going to take a while for it to.
Yeah, it's like a cancer, and cancer isn't you can't get rid of cancer easily. So,
I mean, it's just right now we're getting the very beginnings of people fighting back against it, but it's going to take a while.
Well, people were fighting back against it 6-7 years ago when Comicsgate popped up, but I mean, you're talking about like within the industry itself now. Yeah,
I'm just talking about people fighting back against like DEI and other stuff.
Oh,
People are starting. It's just starting to. You're beginning to see the first couple punches being thrown, and
a lot of companies have started losing a butt ton of money, and that's we've been saying that from the beginning. That was going to be a crucial, if not the crucial factor, if things were going to change. These companies were going to go on. They cannot survive without profit. Eventually, it's going to catch up to them.
Yeah, Jackson, I don't know. I know he was a fairly well-known psychiatrist, whichever the ologist he was. But somebody that's probably grateful that everybody remembers Wortham is Estes Kefauver, which I believe was from the state of Wisconsin, a Democrat senator, if I remember correctly, and because he was right there with him, leading the charge.
Any relation, Vinkman?
Maybe. I don't know. But I was just informed that Zach got a call. It's probably his girlfriend. That's why he's dipping out right now.
Oh.
Yeah, most likely. But got some really cool stuff coming out tomorrow. At least one of the comic books I want to read tomorrow, and it's a continuation of some of the older ones we hated a while back. I think it was about almost a year ago, almost a year and a half.
Thank you, Mark. They're like the Road Warriors. I could never tell them apart either, even though they didn't look anything alike.
Hawk.
Well, that was me with the.
I could never
Bristol
remember
brothers.
which one was Hawk and which one was Animal.
Well, then they had the third one in the like late 80s, early 90s.
I remember him. Yeah. Demolition had a third one too.
That might have been Demolition that we're talking about. Never mind.
All right. So tomorrow, I decided to for our first reading, at least, we're going to be reading.
Ooh. Was that the first one? That's the second one.
Yep, second one. We read the first one about almost a year and a half ago. I figured, why not return to this little gem?
No, is Alan Scott going to try and mount Hal Jordan in this one?
That is only if Eric Breen's reading it.
Hey.
But I don't know why his back is broken like it looks like a freaking fish.
This is going to be the Green Lantern's men on from In Living Color.
Yeah. Combined powers of our rings, we can hope to free our fellow members trapped in these space prisons. Yeah. Like I said, I love the old JLA books like that. In my shop, they have Crisis on Earth A. Dear God, how many crises are there? DC.
So
does everybody have a count?
When did Earth 2 Superman start showing up? That wasn't until the Bronze Age, right, Breen?
When did who?
Earth 2 Superman, when he came back.
Oh wow, that's yeah, that's I want to say sometime in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean and I don't know how they the Superman that came back was apparently the Superman from the early days, but
Right, Golden Age.
like I said, it just kind of got convoluted.
70s is
yeah.
Silver Age, right?
Part of it, very early part.
Okay.
Yeah, then on Saturday,
Silver's like 55 to 71. Okay, go. Sorry, Bateman.
I was saying on Saturday night, I'll be doing a reading. I don't know if anybody wants to join me, but I'll be reading the Venditti Hawkman, issue number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
What time are you doing that?
Probably around 8:00. Be 9 Eastern for you.
You're reading it by yourself?
Well, if somebody joins me, I kind of want to read those. I've never read them before.
Dude, I would love to be in on that. Yeah. I'm just
I was
throwing my
hoping
hat out there, having to read.
I think it's either that one or it's the Jeff Johns one has the Xanadu or whatever her name is, Madame Xanadu.
No, that's
Xanadu.
The Venditti.
Uh,
yeah, she's in the first
Olivia
issue, so
John.
I think Melania might join, or wait, she can't this Saturday because she's gone out of town. So if someone wants to lend their hand as a voice as Madame Xanadu, otherwise you're gonna get stuck with me. But I'm thinking about because I kind of want to read the Hawkmans on Saturdays. At least get a couple of them out. Just maybe do back-to-back 2 issues.
Read it first. So if we do end up reading it and we put our particular spin on it, it won't.
Well, I'm gonna read it this Saturday for the first time. I've already flipped through it, so
You've never read it?
I've never read it before.
Whoa, yeah, you're in.
But I was told it's one of the best.
Oh yeah,
the two, in my humble opinion, the 2 best runs of the 21st century were Brubaker's Cap and Venditti's Hawkman, as far as like the big 2.
seminal. Yeah,
I would throw in Jeff Johns' JSA and Hickman's Fantastic Four.
Well, you would be half correct.
Yeah, so
I will give you Jeff Johns' JSA.
Is
The difference that just I guess I don't count that because I got so used to that being spectacular. And basically all 87, even the ones Goyer wrote before John even got there.
Mm-hmm.
That is the best series of the 21st century, the first one.
I was hoping that Zach would join because
I'll say the last 2 decades with Venditti's Hawkman. It's number 1 of the last 2 decades.
I think issue 1 or issue 2 of Venditti's Hawkman has a giant T-Rex in it, Zach. You should be reading with us.
You and Ash need to get off my case about Hawkman. When I find the collection, I will buy it and read it. I can't go hunt down all the back issues.
It was a toss-up because I was going to start doing little Venkman lullabies and just read by myself and reading either Jeff Johns' Hawkman or read the Venditti Hawkman. So
I started reading Hawk World recently. That is fantastic.
Yep.
I read the miniseries, and then I'm 2 issues in on the regular, and it is so dang good. I never knew.
What time, Hickman? I feel like I'm repeating myself. It's going to be 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern.
And even after Johns leaves in the 3rd volume, they have like Bill Willingham takes over for a bit, and his stuff isn't too bad. There's some issues that kind of run long in the tooth. They're a little exposition-y and it's more talk than action. But
it's John's version where Shire doesn't remember their history together. Right?
No, I think she remembers it, but she tries to break. She wants to break the cycle because that's around the same time that she's with Red Arrow. She and Roy have a fling.
Ugh.
Well, that's
I want to say it first.
That's Kendra, not Shira.
Yeah, that's Kendra. Yeah.
I want to say at first she didn't remember, but even after she finally did remember, she was ready to, like you said, break the cycle. I could be wrong.
Well, she knew she was going to end up, sleeping with transgender ex-college roommates.
Hey guys, I gotta go. This is a phone call that I was waiting back on, so I gotta head off for the night. But I'll see y'all later.
Say hello to your girlfriend.
Bye.
See ya.
There's Zach.
Oh, and speaking of crises, I am getting the new Crisis on Infinite Earths animated 4K on. It says it should be coming Wednesday.
What did you say?
I said, speaking of the Crisis, someone asked how many crises there were.
But
the movie?
How is it presented?
It's the animated movie of the Crisis on Infinite Earths in 4K.
Hey, where the fuck is 4K?
Watch it. It was a good movie. The only downside is the animation's kind of like the new animation. I prefer the original.
I just
Dark Archer.
rewatched Flashpoint the other day. I hated the animation in there. It was someone was talking about how things were blocky in the art, in one of the arts from the comics earlier. I did not like the way they drew that thing, the Flashpoint animated things, because all the faces are like Aquaman and all this Batman and all that. The faces were just square.
It is a part 1 though, so
yes,
Part 1 of 3. Yeah.
We've been almost 2 hours, and you know what dropped tonight?
Yes, the final episode of Reacher.
Reacher.
Yes. So, as they say at a acceptance speech that goes on too long, let's wrap it up.
The music is playing.
That's
good.
right.
I get to binge watch the rest of season 2 now. Awesome.
So
how many episodes do you have left?
7. I only watched the first one.
Hey, is this
good times ahead?
Is this the final episode tonight, Breen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Episode 8, I believe, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. So if you guys have already done so, please click like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get all notifications.
One more thing. If anybody's not watching Monsieur Spade, check it out. It's a new Clive Owen show where he plays Sam Spade in France in 1963, and it takes a turn that you just would not see coming.
He puts on a dress.
No, it's just like I said. If you're familiar with the character and the books and the movie,
yeah,
this I don't know that you would have seen this coming, but it's excellent.
What service is this on?
It's on AMC, and I think they may be rerunning it tonight, but I think there's a streaming, sir. I don't have AMC streaming, so
okay, I can get that through Prime.
Yeah, but
everyone shows are 22 episodes, 25. That's only on CW now, apparently, or CSI.
If it's CW, they definitely would be going gay. So
yeah, well, I said that's. I like these. I like these smaller episode count, but anyway,
it's French. They expect it to be gay.
I said wrap it up, and now I'm paddling. So
all right, guys, we'll see you on tomorrow for the reading, and then if you guys check us out on Saturday night around 8 p.m. Central for a Hawkman reading. All right, guys, later.
Later.
Good night, kids.